Welcome to the 10-Minute Entrepreneur Podcast, intended to equip and encourage business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs. Taught by active business owner, best-selling author, and teacher, Sean Castrina.
All right, how are you doing today? This is Sean Castrina, the host of the 10-Minute Entrepreneur Podcast, top 50 in over 50 countries, and I'm excited because I have a great guest with us today. I have Kim Daly. She's with the Daly Coach. She's the co-author of Franchise Freedom, and she helps people who want to get into business ownership through franchising. Kim, it's great to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, Sean. It's great to be here.
All right, so obviously you're pretty fascinated with this whole franchising concept, and I'm a big fan of it as well. So what turned you on to this, this exit ramp into the business world?
Okay, great question. So entrepreneurs, most people have the dream to want to own their future, right? Like, I don't know anybody that's not seeking more freedom in their life, control, stability, however they define freedom. But a lot of people don't have an idea. They want to own a business. They don't have an idea. Then other people are like, I don't have any experience. I know that starting a business is really hard and it could fail. So all of these reasons make franchising a huge win for people, because the average person can come to the idea of owning a business without an idea, without prior experience, without an MBA. They can buy into a proven system of a franchise, partner themselves with people who've already figured out how to make money, and they can be successful, and they can scale a business and literally build wealth. Because that's the other thing. How many entrepreneurs out there really ever get truly wealthy? The ones that make it beyond their, fifth anniversary and don't fail. Yeah. But most startup businesses fail. So franchising provides that opportunity for that average person to build wealth, not just start a business, be successful, but to build wealth.
And I would agree. Like, I look at the business partners I have, and I would say, and I know they listen to the podcast, but I'd say they're not entrepreneurs. They're managers, very good managers, extremely sharp. But none of them, I think, would say that, like, the one thing Sean can do, Sean can come up with an idea. He's got that magic to get it up. He'll beat it into submission, and then we come in. And so I understand that. And obviously franchising really fits well for people that don't have that. You don't have to be the world's greatest leader. Okay, you don't. I mean, there's a little different when you launch a business. It's a different level of leadership, because you're selling people on a dream. You're trying to raise money. You're hiring people that are so outside of what you deserve. You got to talk them to come join you. And there's a little bit of magic in that, where if you're a really sharp person, which I love, I have like many partners that are like that. Franchises are like, you give them like the recipe, and they will rinse and repeat that all day long.
So yeah, it's true. But I have sold franchises to people that have $50 million net worth. So it's not like it's a dumbed down way of doing business.
No. I don't want to do that, but I want to be careful there, because you have the example of that would be Magic Johnson. Okay, he's got, what do you think he owns? Like he owns over 500 Starbucks franchises. You can take it to different levels of some guys just, it's a great model. And they look at it and they're like,
execute. Yeah, you get to execute and move toward profitability faster versus stopping and starting and creating something from scratch. So yeah, I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah. There's different. Some people can create that first genesis, the idea. And you're right.
We need entrepreneurs, or we would never have any new franchises. So I've done both. I think it's really hard, to start a business from scratch. And like you said, you got to beat it into submission. That's a very good term about being an entrepreneur. And a lot of people don't have that grit. They don't have the money. They don't have the patience. You come into a proven franchise. There's a track record to cash flow. There's, predictability. There's scalability built into it. There's infrastructure. There's people to train you and support you, so you're not out there on an island trying to figure it out on your own. In franchising, we use the expression, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So as a franchise consultant, Sean, sorry.
Yeah, no, I just want to confirm on the agreement. Everything that you do in a startup is you're trying to reach this you're trying to find a marketplace that wants to buy what you have, and then you try to create a system so you can repeat what you're doing. That's what franchises do that for you. In other words, you have a franchise because they've already proven there's a set market. They've already proven how to acquire customers. They've already proven how to do the fulfillment. The big part of starting a business, they've already done for you and proven that.
You got it. That's correct. And I'm a franchise consultant. So people come to me saying, I think I want to own my own business. I don't really know what I want to do or what I would be good at or what I could afford. And I offer a free service that helps people learn about franchising, explore franchise opportunities, and hopefully find a business for their future.
And where do they, obviously franchises range from A to Z. So what do you typically, when clients reach out to you, where do you tell them, hey, they run? Because I know a little bit of these answers, but how do you kind of whet their appetite with what they run, or you just try to evaluate what they're willing to spend and all that? I'm just trying to get my audience to kind of go, oh, okay, if I had, a lot of people think it's going to cost a fortune, is why I'm saying
Yeah,
that. So
yeah, it's a great question, Sean. So no, you're right. There are franchises that are 30, 40, $50,000, or there are franchises that are $3, $4, $5 million. But it's not just about finding a business you can afford. It's actually about finding people. So the reason I really have a business is I've spent 19 years building relationships in the franchise industry to figure out in every category of business, who are the real players? Who are the people that are actually going to be there to support you, to adequately train you, to keep growing the brand, not just someone who can sell you a franchise by having you pay a franchise fee. So when you invest in a franchise, you're buying down the learning curve of starting a business because you're partnering yourself with people. And my focus with my candidates is on who are the people. So as a candidate comes to me, we spend time getting to know each other up front. I have them fill out a really basic questionnaire, personally, professionally, and financially. Who are you? I'm infinitely more interested in where somebody wants to go. Like, what is the vision for your future in the next 3, 5, 10 years? And how much of that vision does this franchise help you achieve? Like, is it all of it financially? Is it, you have a pie of revenue
yeah,
streams, maybe some from real estate, maybe some from a full-time job. And now you want to be a semi-absentee franchisee, franchise
yeah,
owner. So what portion of that pie are you expecting the franchise to sort of create for you?
yeah.
So we spend a lot of time up front talking about the vision for this business. Once I understand where people want to go and in what time frame, finding the right business, that's my job. That's
Yeah.
the easy part. So most people, Sean, when they think about owning a business, they think about, well, what do I know? Or what does my community need? And I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what you know in terms of what skills you have. Are you a salesperson? Are you a great operator? Are you a manager of people that just inspires people to want to work for you? Right. And then what kind of environment do you want to be in? Do you want to be in a business to business environment? Because franchising is so much more than food and retail. Like, you have to beg me to show you food.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah. No,
doing it.
I always said if you gave me a restaurant, I'd give it back.
There are easier,
Yeah,
faster, better ways to make money. So
yeah,
do you want to be in a business to business environment where you're serving business owners? Do you want to be helping owners with some projects around their home? Do you want to be but even if you're doing that, you're not the one slinging a hammer.
yeah,
You're the guy coming in selling me the California closet, or managing a design team that's coming in to sell me on a California closet, and then managing the project. And you're not doing the hands-on work. You're working on your business, not in your business.
yeah. No, I'm
So I'm
listening.
focused on the characteristics and the vision. And then I go about finding the companies and then bringing those to the candidate. And then I coach them through a process. So selecting a business is about a 1 to 2 month process. It's understanding the franchise agreement, like the FDD, the franchise disclosure document. It's understanding the process. Like, what are the questions, Kim? Who should I be talking to? How do I know that I'm asking all the right questions? So when I say yes, I feel competent in the due diligence I've done. That's what I do for people.
You're basically running a franchise dating service. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, the daily coach is nothing if she's not a dating coach, because ultimately,
Yeah.
Sean, the franchise is not yours to buy until it's been awarded to you. So this is a mutual evaluation process where franchisors are literally building a family of franchisees. They're looking for people that are coachable. They're looking for people that have the right skill. They're looking for people that are financially qualified. So as you are dating them, they are dating you. You come to the conclusion of your process and make sure it's a mutual evaluation, a mutual yes. They offer you the opportunity to move forward, and then it's your business to say yes or no to.
Yeah,
So
no,
yes, I
yeah,
am a date. And when we
yeah,
start talking to companies, we call it a blind date.
yeah,
So we do all the upfront work so that I can set you up for some blind
yeah.
dates. And
No,
then we
I
start,
like it. It's
I
a
do all
vetting
the breakup
service.
work. I'm going to help
Yeah,
you, like what questions when it's time to meet the family. Like
yeah.
I use dating analogies throughout my entire process with
Yeah,
people.
no, because I can see that because I've had people that have come to me and I said, no, you're owning a franchise would be ideal for you. Like it's, where they were at in their stage of life. Example, you're over 45, you have a certain amount of money. I mean, I'm not a big risk taker when you get there. I'm like, you can't afford to take a risk. You can't put $250,000 into an idea at this point, in my opinion. Very rarely do you do that. I go, why? What you need to do is you need to have an income. So how much can you put into something to create an income? And then how much do you want to work? How many years do you want to work for and all that? So no, I'm in my first book, The Eight Unbreakable Rules, there's a chapter and I'm like franchising, may be your ideal way of entering, the entrepreneurship world. I mean, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
you
ways to do
definitely
it.
buy down the risk, right? Buy up that ramp up speed. And like you said, people like I'm working with a candidate right now came to me saying, I just want to quit my job. And I said, how does your wife feel about that?
Yeah.
Like he's like, I want to
Right.
start a business. And I'm like, how about we find you a business that can be manager run in the beginning so you can actually keep the job? So many people don't know that not all franchises have to be owner run from day one. That's called a semi
Yeah.
absentee investor. And then there are even some businesses where owners can be all the way down to maybe 5 hours a week. Like consider like if you were to invest in a laundromat,
Yeah.
that's going to be a big capital investment, but a pretty small time commitment.
Yeah.
So
Car
money and
washes.
time, when we're talking franchising, they're inversely related. The lower the investment to get into the franchise, typically the higher the owner time commitment. The bigger the investment, the more stuff you
Yeah.
got, the more leverage you have, brand, space, equipment, if you're
Yeah.
in a laundromat, the smaller the owner time commitment. Typically, there are always exceptions to that rule. But
No, but
again,
I
that's
can
part
see
of what
that.
I do for people is when I gather their net worth, we spend some time talking about what every franchise business costs and why. So I always tell people if the idea of owning a franchise inspires you, don't take yourself out of the conversation because you think you can't afford it. Like give the Daily Coach an opportunity to educate you on what your money buys. Because when you understand what your money buys, even if you then say, okay, well, based on this, I'm not really ready to do it, at least you go away empowered with information that makes you know, okay, I know when to call you back. But
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
flip side, what if, to your point, someone thinks, well, I don't have $1 million. And I say, yeah, but the business that is perfect for what you're saying costs 75,000 all in. And what
Yeah.
if there's an SBA, unsecured line of credit that you qualify for, so you don't need any cash,
There's so
like,
many
so it's
ways.
putting the pieces of the puzzle together, being willing to ask the questions so you can hear what the answers are and then decide. It's always exploratory until it's not.
Yeah, no, no, I love it. My audience, I know what you're saying. Sean, this is the least we've ever heard you speak in 488 episodes because I'm getting overwhelmed with knowledge and I don't know where to interrupt. So I am here with Kim Daly, the Daily Coach, who's just really just giving us a doctorate on why franchising might be a great fit. And she mentioned a couple things like buying down the learning curve. I've never heard that used before. That's just a great statement on franchising because a lot of times we think there's so many things that we need to know in franchising. Somebody's done it for you. They kind of have the cheat sheet on it and what you really need to know. And I love the part that I learned in, the more money you put up, obviously the less amount of time. I had a client who owned the McDonald's in this area, and he was also a very well-known doctor as well. So he was never in the McDonald's, but he owned a few of those franchises. And then I've had people that obviously were putting a good deal of time into it, but they were very low capital to get into. So these are all great things that my audience is getting learning. I have the author of Franchise Freedom with me, Kim Daly. Kim, I want to thank you so much for being on the podcast. I heard you on another podcast. I thought you did a great job, and I felt like this would be information that would be great for my listeners.
Thank you for the opportunity. I love sharing what I know about franchising. If you can't tell, I'm passionate about it. Franchising changed my life, and I just want to share that with other people to maybe give them the opportunity to help change their life.
There's no doubt. It is a great ramp to getting into entrepreneurship. And the couple things that Kim said in the beginning, it's so true. I have people like, just waiting for that idea. Well, you may never get that idea. And the idea you may get may not even be one that the marketplace wants. There's so many little things that could keep you from doing it. There's no question the fastest way to become a business owner successfully, I say, and I want to define that. A successful business owner is someone who's actually putting money in their pocket. The fastest way to do that is is through franchising. Statistically, there's no doubt. The likelihood of a franchise failing is so minuscule in relation to just a general business. It's not even, no comparison,
Correct.
because I've seen
Everything you're
this.
saying is true.
Yeah, they're all true. Kim, I want to thank you so much for being on the podcast. How can my listeners reach out to you now that they have a fascination with buying a franchise?
I hope they do, Sean. Well, for sure, you got to check out my new YouTube channel that was launched out of 2020 and not being able to travel around the country anymore. So, Kim Daly TV, please go check it out. I think somebody told me yesterday, 174 videos we've made this year on all things franchising and more coming every week. So, please like and subscribe. But if you'd like to reach out to me, also, you can go directly to my website, thedalycoach.com. And my last name is Daly, The Daly Coach.
Fantastic. I have Kim Daly. She's the co-author of Franchise Freedom. Reach out to the Daly Coach. You have some interest in franchising. You're just curious. You're looking to be a business owner. I want to thank my audience for continuing to listen to the podcast. It's brought to you by Get Started Marketing. If you need more help growing your business, more sales, more people to your website, you just need more traffic, reach out to getstartedmarketing.com.